Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Sit down. I'm brain dead. This is episode 8 of
Hi, Brandon.
Let Me Go on a Tangent. The lovely voice you just heard is my new guest, Nemaway. Say hello.
Hello.
So today, she is...
You can also call me Nema. Sorry.
Yes, she is exploiting me for her one podcast episode.
Yes,
So
yes.
we have scheduled today, and today we're going to talk about one of the most underrated shows, I would say, called Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts. Now, if you're familiar with it, it's 3 seasons long on Netflix. Got canceled, sadly. But that's still
Which
way
is
too...
so sad.
It's so sad. But it's way too long to cover all in one episode.
Mm-hmm.
So the way we're going to do this is a little bit more loosey-goosey. I have the descriptions of the shows right here, which I usually just read off one after the other. If you want to read off one, then you're more than welcome to. But after that, we're going to go through like the broad strokes of the show. And, you know, this is not a spoiler-free podcast, so you either get it or you get it or you don't.
Yeah, right,
Get it or you
exactly.
don't.
Yeah.
So, I don't
And
feel
in
the
fact, you could
need-
just pause right now
Yeah,
and
you
go watch
could
the show.
fully just, you know, do something worthwhile instead of listening to this.
yeah, of course.
So, yeah, either you get it or you don't, and I don't feel the need to explain it. So just broad strokes, and then we might play a couple games,
Ooh.
might have some philosophical discussions, and that's pretty much the vibe. So first off, the description on my list is, I think, what you get when you look it up on Google, which is Kipo, a sheltered girl, gets a crash course in survival when a mutant attack sends her to the surface, far from the safety of her underground home. Simple. Sure. And then the next one is the one that comes up when you look at it on Netflix, which is making her way in a world of mutant animals. A sheltered yet scrappy girl learns to survive and discovers her powers with the help of a ragtag crew. Which, yes, also accurate.
Yes.
But I would like to say mine is the most accurate, which is vibrant post-apocalyptic gay people go on an adventure and defeat eugenics with villain with the power of friendship. I feel like that's a hook.
Yeah.
That's something you mentioned.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's funny because everything up until the 3rd season, which we'll cover the season. Okay, so
Right.
season 1, relationship building with the squad, finding Kipo's dad because, as mentioned, her home was trampled and she was lost above ground. So she has to go find her people and her dad because she's way far away. What'd you do?
I inhaled like through my nose like really like deeply, and so I'm just nervous that it's like the feedback is there, but it's fine.
The AC is going. It'll probably be
Oh, okay, we'll be fine.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought.
I'm so sorry.
And then the other part of season 1 is fighting against rival animal mutant gangs, which the fact that gang warfare is a type of theme in this, we'll get to it, but that's kind of crazy, and I kind of love that.
I love that. I love that. It because it's a very similar theme. We're gonna talk about another show now. It reminds me a little bit of Star versus the Forces of Evil as well.
Yes.
About how like is it like there's how many seasons did that one have? The very last season.
I want to say 4.
4 seasons.
I want to say 4.
That's how many Kipo should have had too.
Yeah.
But the 4th season of Star vs. the Forces of Evil also touched on a very like not necessarily like not I wouldn't say not appropriate for children, right? I wouldn't say that at all, but very like radical for a child's show. You know what I mean?
I
And
would
so
agree.
yeah, like they kind of have the same theme in that sense.
Yeah, there's this thing with children's shows. I think that started with Gravity Falls, where they pull you in with the shenanigans typical of a
Right.
cartoon, like Looney Tunes, and then all of a sudden it becomes episodic. All of a sudden it becomes serialized, and there's all this shit that happens, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, this is gonna change
like
my
it gets
psyche
so
forever.
serious.
Yeah.
There's another show. I'm so sorry. Here's another tangent. Have you seen Centaur World or
Yeah,
Centaur?
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God,
yeah,
I love
yeah,
that show. I love that show. I try so hard to get people to get into it, and they just get so like turned off by it by like the
Cowards.
first couple episodes, and it's like
Cowards.
you guys don't get it.
You need to
it's
stay until
supposed
it
to
gets
be
good.
stupid.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah,
It's absurdism,
you're supposed to submit.
guys. Yeah. whatever.
It's so
I digress.
good. I
But
love
then-
how
but-
many of our interests overlap.
Oh yeah, that does. Huh?
It's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, but so like Centaur World is so, because that last season of Centaur World is like also they touched on some pretty crazy themes, and it's like wow. But
Yeah.
but we're not talking about that today. We're talking about Kipo.
Yeah, in
Yes.
in the 2-episode combo where me and my friends talked about Laserhawk, we talked for a full half hour about Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
So you're in good company.
Okay.
Yeah, don't
Okay.
worry. I don't remember if I cut that or not, but it is fine. Where the fuck was I? Where the fuck was I? Training arc, Scarlet. Okay, so fighting against rival mutant gangs
Right.
because there's a bunch of different factions of species animals because the mutant animals are very anthropomorphized. So in this apocalypse, they've basically become the humans of the above ground, and they're fighting for territories, which is very fun. Very Pokemon, Team Rocket
Okay.
kind of vibes
Yeah.
to me, but a little more with a little more stakes
Right.
involved, and they're making friends along the way, a la Avatar: Last Airbender.
Yeah.
And then season 2 is the training arc because she discovers that she has powers,
Right.
which is so good for her. Like I love that for her.
Yeah.
I saw this one Tumblr post that was so funny. I saved a couple
Mm-hmm.
where it was like the theory that that they're sad that her parents are sad that she has autism broke. Woke theory is that they added autism afterwards because they thought it was cool.
Yeah.
In addition to her mutation,
Mm-hmm.
which is like they totally would. Not a single bitch in this show is neurotypical except
Right.
for Amelia
Yeah. Of course.
because she's a bitch. But I digress. So that's the training arc, and then that leads up to the Scarlemagne arc, which kind of happens in like tandem with that because they're training to take him down because he's making a monarchy, and we don't like that. Traditionally, we don't like that. Can I get a hoorah in the audience?
Hoorah!
In the American audience only. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And there's a whole bunch of other mystery elements and stuff, but it goes crazy.
Yeah.
But then the third season goes even crazier
Right.
because now that we've kind of made friends with all the animals, like we and the animals, we're chill like this.
Yeah.
But now the humans are acting up, like
Mhm.
different communes of humans. And one of the humans is named Amelia, and
Right.
as forementioned, she's a bitch.
Mhm.
And she wants to, quote unquote, cure all of these animals back and make all of the humans the, quote unquote, superior race once more.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy.
Crazy.
Which is crazy. Because, you know, on the one hand, they've been living in fear underground for, what, 200 years, I think it was?
Yeah.
So generationally, there's some trauma here. If you're trying to get back to normal, makes sense. But on the other hand, no one who was alive before this is alive now.
Yeah.
So it's like you're fighting a war that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Like if
Right.
like, and she's already like Kipo has made peace at this point. But Amelia still is like, oh my god, it's
Yeah.
so much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it goes so hard. So that's broad strokes each season, and the ending hurts my feelings.
Oh my
the
goodness.
ending hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that. But how about we get to fucking this mouse sucks. The characters Kipo, Wolf, Benson, Dave, and Mandu are the main squad.
Yes.
I don't know which direction should we go in next? How about we start with this? Which character out of this list here is your favorite?
Out of my favorite, Dave, of course.
Dave.
Dave. I love Dave. Dave is my
Dave.
boy.
Explain.
Dave is so funny, and I his whole like character, just the way that he is, like he's like it makes sense because of it's like the fact that he's so like I mean, doesn't he like end up gathering like control of it, like his forms and everything like that, like later in the season?
Yeah, that's his arc.
Yeah, that's like one of his arcs, but like at first he has like no control of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really funny how he's always like constantly like he's literally constantly metamorphosizing or whatever, right? Like constantly like physically and like actually like literally like
mentally.
mentally as well. And so he's just my man, dude. Like I love his character. I love the way that he like even just like the way that he like talks and stuff, and like he's just so like chill, like whatever, you know. That scene where he he's like a baby that's in that cage where the cats had like taken them, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he like he's he's just a baby, so he's like he can't do anything, right? But then he changes into his like I don't know, his adult form, right?
Right.
He's like, yeah, I'm back in action. He's like, oh yeah, right. I just remembered. We actually just got captured. Like I thought that was so funny, and also kind of like that's so me in a lot of ways. So it was very like relatable. Like I was like, oh yeah, right. This is not the circumstance I meant to be in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like as far as comedic relief characters go, it's a very difficult balance to strike because you don't want them to be too funny that it throws off the entire tone of whatever you're trying to do. But on the other hand, you don't want it to be like, okay, now you're too subdued, like you're too boring. You don't serve your purpose. And then what the fuck else do you have going for you? Character depth, a little bit. But I like him because his sense of humor is kind of subtle.
Yeah.
Like, it's not in your face, like Animal Companion, like, the chicken from Moana.
Yeah.
It's like, that's supposed to be comic relief because the target demographic is literal children. So that makes sense for them. But, I think children are smart, and I think if you put the effort in, it can work really well in a really meaningful way. And I think that's safe.
He's a talking bug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's enough whimsy here.
What more could you want? Like, yeah, a talking bug that goes from a baby to an adult to like a really buff adult, like literally like
to a very old man, and his prepubescent teen.
Yeah, his prepubescent teen years is so funny. Don't look at me. I thought
those were my favorite by far.
I related
also,
so hard.
Prepubescent teen is oxymoronic. Prepubescent means before teen.
Before teen. Whoopsies. Whatever.
It's fine. I also love his relationship with Benson. They're so wholesome.
They're so cute.
I love that our first introduction to both of them is like, yeah, he's my friend, and it's a full baby, and the audience is like, what?
Yeah, like nothing's explained to you. You kind of have to figure everything out as it goes, which is actually something I really love about the show is that it doesn't explain everything.
That's one of the best things about it.
Because I remember watching it and being like so intrigued because I was so confused. You know what I mean? I was like, I have to know what else is going on because I had no idea about because it doesn't say anything about her being from a burrow or anything like that either. No. And you start off with her like coming out of the like waterway or whatever.
Yeah,
so
she gets knocked into a river to save herself. So
so you have like no context of even like where she like came from. I mean, from the description, right? But like you don't know anything else really. And then she's just like on the surface and she's like, wow, and everything, right? And she's just like so like taken like in awe of everything because like, wow, there's so much to experience outside and everything. So
that's another great part about it. I think that's the best way to do any story.
Yeah.
Just don't explain anything.
Right.
Because if you're good at your job, which is storytelling, and the audience is smart enough, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Show, don't tell. This is a visual medium after all.
Right.
And what was the other thing? I think it's great that they don't explain anything specifically in the first couple episodes because if you notice that our main character is fucking magenta, then you'll be like, oh, I guess humans are multicolored.
Yeah.
Like, or oh, I guess that's how people in the burrow look. And then you get a flashback and it's like, no.
That's not how people in the burrow look.
She's the only pink girl. And then it's sort of like a Frozen situation where it's like, okay, she's the only one with magic. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And you don't explain it. And it's just a character choice. It's just a design choice.
Uh-huh.
But then you find out that no, she's main character energy fully superpowered with science. And it's like, okay, so all this makes sense.
Yeah.
But you won't know that. And that's why it's great storytelling. It's visual story. It's foreshadowing. It's visual storytelling before you even get to the point where it's relevant.
Right. Yeah. Everything is just, it's... Yeah. Oh, me and Dave, we go way back with the little babies. So
it's
funny.
So good.
We go way back.
And both Kipo and Wolf are like,
I would love to know. Right? I would. How long has he been a baby?
Yeah. How old are you?
I think that's so funny. But like, I would love to know what their origin story was. Like
I would
how
love,
Dave
like, a
and
spin-off little short
and
or
them
something.
met. Like, yeah, that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Untapped potential across the board.
untapped potential with that not having a fourth season.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Just one more Netflix.
Just one more,
Just
please.
one more.
One more.
Please.
One more.
Please, Overlord Netflix.
Yes.
Just one more.
Yes.
I beg of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get what we want, not what we deserve.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Lost my train of thought.
Lost your train of thought?
That's fine. I'll mark it right here. We can cut it. It's fine.
Okay. Serious question.
Mhm.
What unconventional character is the most shaggable of of the show?
Okay. Well, let's be clear right now. We are not talking about the children.
Of course not.
We
No,
are not
of course
talking
not.
about the main
Of course not.
characters.
No, that's so problematic. I would
Yeah.
never say that. No.
You just need the disclaimer. I
Okay,
know.
oh, that, okay.
I know.
Okay.
I
That's
know.
so fair.
Know
That's
that I
so
know,
fair. Yeah.
but
just to clarify, guys.
If anyone ever listens to this, even once,
yeah.
we need to disclose.
Okay, yeah. Of course. Of all the adult characters, which, in your opinion, is the most shaggable?
You just take it.
Oh, okay, thank you. I don't know why I was trying to do that. That's complicated.
We're going halvesies on a bar.
We're going halvesies on a bar, just so
On
you
a
are
fruit
aware.
bar.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a good fruit bar.
This is also a texture thing for me because it's the little bits,
Mhm.
but it's also like applesauce.
Yeah.
It works for me.
This is a good bar. Yeah.
Okay, but now we gotta go through like all the adult characters
Mhm.
that fit the criteria.
Okay.
So first of all, what's the criteria?
I mean, I
think
guess adult character.
Adult across the board.
Adult across the board. But I'm
Yes.
kind of very interested in knowing, like, since they're like, there's, the animal character.
I'm including the anthropomorphic.
Okay. Those are the specific ones I'm interested in
Mhm.
hearing which ones are like,
Mhm.
shaggable.
So are we only talking about the anthropomorphic characters? Or can I include some humans?
We can include some humans, but they're not that fun.
Okay.
Like, okay. You have to pick one human, one anthropomorphic animal.
Okay. So there's a human racket and a anthropomorphic racket.
Yeah.
Like a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me think. Well, the only human characters that I can think of are Kipo's parents, which they are both incredibly hot.
Like the dad?
Yeah.
The dad?
The father is fine. Stupid fine.
In his voice?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Wow.
But they're so in love with each other.
safe. You got her out of there. You did your job. Like, oh my god.
It's like, why did you do
You're
that?
such a protector. Oh my god.
You can provide for me.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so in love with each other, I'd be like, I feel bad. They're so perfect for each
Yeah.
other.
No, I hear that.
He was pining for his wife while she was a giant monkey for 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Yeah. No, yeah. I would have issues with that. I'd be like, so you like her more than me? Yeah.
And then you meet the wife and you're like, so do I.
yeah. No, you get that. Yeah.
But what are the other human adult characters? I remember this one guy who was blonde and in Leo's burrow who sold them out to Scarlet-Man and he was a clone.
Mm.
I'm not putting him in the bracket. I just remembered him. And then there's Amelia.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember anyone else. So I
I
guess I
gotta-
wouldn't shag a human character.
Yeah. us, our conclusion, we would not shag a single human.
On the other hand,
Yeah.
evil woman hot.
I was going to say that.
Mhm.
I wasn't sure if that was problematic in itself, but
No, I mean-
I am kind of feeling Amelia.
It's fiction.
Yeah.
I could fix her and or make her worse.
Mm-hmm,
I don't think I could make her worse than being a eugenics supporter.
No, I don't think we can make her worse, but
And,
we
like-
could try fixing her.
Yeah.
It could be a group effort.
Borderline fascist.
Yeah.
Her redemption arc is getting with me.
yeah. And then she's like, well,
I guess I don't want to kill you anymore.
yeah.
I don't know. If we're talking about
yeah.
we're not talking about like the healthiest relationship possible romantically. We're talking like who's the hottest.
Right.
By default, I think it has to unfortunately go to the eugenics professor.
Mhm. Yeah. No, yeah. Well, honestly,
Unfortunately.
okay, for me, it's got to be Leo, her dad. The dad.
Completely fair. Completely fair.
The dad is it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my most my most shaggable human character from
Yeah.
Kipo. So, now the exciting part.
Now that we've put that aside,
Yes.
let's get to the actual fucking point of this conversation.
Okay. Who would you shag?
Okay, let's go down the list, right? We've
Okay.
got Yamin Hammerpaw, leader of the cats. We've got his right-hand woman.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember her name.
Uh-huh.
We've got the snakes.
Uh-huh.
Enough said.
The snakes?
We've got Jamak, Redemption Arc King.
Jamak.
I would do Jamak immediately.
That's what I was gonna say.
Immediately.
The way Jamak was the first one that came to mind. I was like, Jamak
He's
is
stupid
so fine.
And also, I love frogs
So
already, so
fine.
I'm biased.
Yeah, right.
I love him.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's my baby's father.
No, I love Jamak. His skinny legs.
He might be it.
Yeah.
He
Mhm.
might be it. There's also the wolves.
I gotta admit, Dave. I feel like it's a proximity thing. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like if I were in the
yeah.
room with Dave for long enough, I'd be like, I'd come around to it.
it's a how long do you leave a monkey before it writes Shakespeare? How long do you leave me in a room before I fuck a bug? I have to cut that. Cut that.
No, you don't.
I have to cut that.
Why?
Fuck a bug is not an appropriate thing to say
It's
on
so
here.
funny.
It's hilarious.
It's so funny. I feel like you get one curse word.
I'll decide. No, I curse like a sailor on these. That's not the problem.
Oh, it's just the fucking of the bug.
Yes.
I understand.
The process.
The process in which.
Yes, the description of such. It's funny though because I don't know where the line is. Like this is school sponsored, but I'm not sure where the line is because I don't think they'd listen to them, and I don't think they post them either. So technically,
Right.
if no, I'm not gonna make that joke.
Technically.
If a stupid thing is said and no one hears it, was it ever said?
Was it ever said?
Can you punish me for it? I don't think so.
Hmm.
Yeah, so what are we on? Jamak might be it for me. I'm gonna be real.
Jamak for sure.
He checks a lot of my boxes. I also wrote down Puck, which is the theater nerd who performs at the brunch restaurant with the lobster. Was it a lobster or was it a shrimp? It was a shrimp.
It was a shrimp, I think. Yeah.
Which is I can't remember her name either, but I do the shrimp.
Yeah.
She has a girl boss energy about her.
No, I hear
I
that.
feel like she needs a relaxation technique,
Oh.
and it could be me.
Okay. I'm still all for Jamak.
Don't get it twisted.
No, yeah. I'm a big Jamak fan.
I loved him.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, here's the thing too with like because you do character design, like there's no way they didn't design this without a little bit of sex appeal. You know what I mean? Like there's no way they were like, "Oh yeah, let me just put them together." Like no, you were like, "I'm going to make them a little sexy." Come on. And see, that's not my fault. I am only
I'm not liable for finding the frog hot.
Yeah. No, yeah, this
Okay.
isn't my fault. You made the frog hot.
You
okay?
did this on
and I
purpose.
simply noticed that the frog was
Yeah.
hot.
Another consideration, I simply observed.
No, yeah, of course.
Another consideration might be that they didn't intend it, but the character design was so like robust because obviously,
Robust, yeah. Mhm.
just like his titties.
yeah, no, yeah. No, yeah.
But it was so solid with what they were trying to do because it's like frog mafia, clean cut, obsessive,
See, he's a mafia
kinda
frog.
stupid.
Like, that's so sexy.
which kind of goes into the music. Because the music
Yeah.
of his theme
Mhm.
immediately gives Mafia Frog. They did a great job with that.
No, they did so
They
good.
tied the character design and the motivation with the music theory so cleanly.
His whole like arc with his suit is actually kind of crazy
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like that. There's so much even like symbolism with that too. Like
Yeah.
his suit literally being his like armor almost. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then like it being like almost a religious type of like thing where he had to keep it clean for like, and then like literally like he got ink on his shirt and he let Like, I mean, if he really wanted to, he could have kept Kipo and I'm forgetting her name. Wolf, but didn't we find out later that she has a name or no?
Kipo names her Wolf with a Christy the Fourth.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, that's so sad. I just realized that she probably never had a name.
Probably.
Yeah.
That whole thing, her whole backstory.
Oh,
rough.
Ooh.
Also, there was
made me cry.
This was another Tumblr post that I bookmarked specifically in my brain for this. Was that it's not often where you see a racial story with the animals as the white people, because that's obviously what that was.
Yeah.
They adopted her, took her in, and all of a sudden now she's the enemy.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of layers to that that's not often shown in media, but is done a lot of times in media. It's just a different way of doing it, which was appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah. I think let's say I forgot what I was gonna say though. I was talking about Jamak though.
Kipo and Wolf. He could have
easily not let them go. I mean, not that he intentionally did, but the fact that he was so distracted by the cleaner in that one scene where Wolf throws it as a diversion because she had spilled ink on his shirt and he needed the cleaner because he needed to keep it clean. I mean, wouldn't you think that his first priority would be to make sure to secure them because he needs the borough people, right?
That's his way up in the world.
But at the same time, here's this thing that he has to it's mission sacrificing, the fact that he had to keep his armor,
it's almost representational of his aspirations and his goals, because it's a case of the symbol overcoming the actual meaning,
right?
Because like you said, it's almost religious. It's obsessive to the point where it overcomes what he's actually trying to do.
Yeah.
So, he's maintaining his suit, which is a symbol of power, clearly, and it's a symbol of rising power. If we were to compare this to present day politics,
right?
Businessman, salaryman. That's how you move up in the world.
In the way that he's quite literally a suit, as well.
Yes.
Yeah, a suit.
So
yeah,
and much like them, when you focus on something that hard, you lose the meaning behind it. And that's what he did in that scene. Your character design is so fucking good.
And then the way that too, in the later seasons, he I think it's the second season possibly. His suit gets ruined and everything, and then that's his whole thing, and then he looks a little disheveled. I'm okay.
One thing about me, I love a broken man.
You love a broken man?
I love a broken man. Be my little housewife. That's what I want.
You want Jamal to be your little housewife?
I want Jamal to be my little stay-at-home husband.
Yeah.
Because it was in season 2, because we see him work at the brunch restaurant, and that's I think episode 30, season 2. And he's working because he ate and he couldn't pay his bill, so he's washing dishes, and he has his suit jacket off and his sleeves rolled up to the front.
That's so funny.
No,
I understand
what you're 1,000% sincere.
I know what you mean. I
but
know
also,
what you mean. This is a safe space.
If we were to put away the discussion of doing the frog,
right?
Narratively, it also makes sense because he has no use for the symbol.
Right.
So now he's put it aside because he has on the ground actual problems to face. I need to eat. I need to have a home. I need to have warmth. So because before he was meeting those physiological needs and he was focused on aspirations, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And once you can no longer fulfill those needs, all of a sudden the things that mattered to you before don't matter, and you see, wow, this shit didn't matter in the first place because the goal has, you might never attain that goal.
Right.
If you were to compare it to a real life salaryman, it's why are you doing this? Well, I want to feel good about myself, and the way that I'm told to feel good about myself is to make money, and the way to make money is to be a salaryman. And you get so far up the chain, all of a sudden, you're 70 years old, and they cut you without pension. And all of a sudden, you have to worry about how I'm going to eat, how I'm going to survive, how I'm going to, all this shit. And you realize, wow, that really was for nothing. I wasted these years, and that's why I'm so glad he got cut from that. He was saved
Yeah.
from the capitalistic grind set,
Mm-hmm.
which is funny because the entire hierarchy of this animal society, of this like rivaling gangs that are all under Scarlemagne as a monarchy, is wild because it has the same basic facets of capitalism, sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I were to look at the monarchy-based, is that capitalism? I'm not sure what system of currency that is. I talk so much about capitalism, I forget the others like methods because it's the most talked about thing.
Well, a monarchy, I think you're talking about,
Because I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, you're giving money to each other for food and shit, but also you're giving like 120% tax to the king, sort of thing. Like, they don't eat before he eats. I'm not sure what system. Maybe it is just like ye olde capitalism. I don't know, I'm an art major.
I don't know. I'm an art major.
I'm just an art major.
That could be a sticker. I don't know.
It should be.
No, yeah. I would say a monarchy is an accurate way of describing that.
Okay,
So
well-
not necessarily capitalism,
Per se,
but
Yeah.
monarchy is.
you get the
yeah.
vibe.
A monarchy is a political system where a monarch or individual ruler has supreme authority and serves as the head of state.
Mm.
And that was Scarlemagne
Mhm.
for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if we were to put it in like global terms, it's
Mhm,
like, okay,
mhm.
Britain has a king, right?
Yeah.
But then he has all of these colonies.
Right.
He rules over the colonies, but the colonies also have their individual forms of government.
Yeah.
And they can rule themselves, but don't forget who, at the top of the ladder. But they're all trying to climb the ladder.
Who is at the top of the ladder?
So
Yeah.
that's that. And he was never going to let any of them get close to him.
Right.
Like, what they're aiming for is
Mhm.
proximity to power, right? The power is
Right.
Scarlemagne.
Mhm,
He hates all of
mhm.
their asses.
Yeah.
So proximity and power would actually be worse. And you can see that with the remains of Jamak's team, who literally gets murdered once
Yeah.
they're in proximity to that power.
Right. Mhm.
It's a metaphor for capitalism.
You can't be any more passionate. I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah. Because proximity to power, when you define power as this oppressive system, does not benefit you any more than the one that's at the bottom.
Yes.
Do you
Precisely.
hear me?
I hear you. Precisely.
I'm sweating.
It's getting hot in here.
It's getting a little hot. Wore a tank top today. I need to do laundry. I wore this in bed.
I hear you.
So glad this isn't on video yet.
I can't wait for that, actually.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty excited. Yeah. But,
Next semester, we're doing video podcasts.
yeah, and it's going to be so much fun.
Mhm.
I'm so excited. Okay.
Yeah.
What else are we going to yap about in terms of... Oh, you know what I want to talk about, actually? Scarlemagne's, introduction scene where he comes in is crazy. I'm sorry, when I'm snapping, will it sound okay, on the recording?
Oh, no, for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
Okay. You snapped quietly, and that made me think, oh, am I not supposed to be snapping?
No, I didn't do it consciously. I just didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, I see what you did. Anyways, okay, Scarlemagne's introduction scene, though, where, they show him, so crazy when he's playing the piano and he's singing and everybody's dancing and he sprays the, perfume onto them and it, controls their minds or whatever. I was like, this is the hardest villain introduction I have ever seen in my life. Honestly, he ate with that. Really, he
He
did.
really did.
Cause Amelia wasn't like that. You know what I mean? Her villain arc wasn't introduced the same way.
Hers was very much like, I catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
Hers was very like understated, but like Scarlet Man could not be any more.
Right out the gate, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill your family. I'm gonna mind control you. If you don't want to do what I do, too bad you're doing it.
Too bad you're doing it. Too bad you're doing it. Either it's gonna be your choice or it's not gonna be your choice.
Yeah, either way, I'm the fucking boss.
Yeah, no, he was. Oh my goodness,
which is so good.
So good.
It scratches that itch in my brain.
Yeah,
for good villains.
Yeah.
Because both him and Amelia are good villains.
Why is he literally the best villain I have seen in a minute? Like, the best villain. I really, like, I wish that they could just capture the essence of that and just plug it into other, like, you know, like franchises and things like that. Because I'm so, like, disappointed with villains these days. But, like, Scarlet Man as a villain... And his whole, like, character arc, too, like, how he became a villain even, right? And how, like, basically he was doing it for his, for fucking, I can say that word.
Yeah, it's fine. We're all adults here.
Daddy Leo, all to get his attention, basically. That's so funny to me. And that's so classic, like, yeah, that's a villain. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's the missing link. Maybe the best villains just have...
Daddy issues, right?
To the point of
insanity, to the point of monarchy, to the point of like just needing absolute control because of the lack of control in their own life. Ugh, and he's so like human, but also like, you know, clearly not because he's not human, right? But he's just so cool. I
would say
I adore him.
Yes, I love him very much.
Yeah,
I would say. I was looking for the right word. I wouldn't say he's hot. I would say he's compelling.
Okay, he's very compelling.
He's
extremely
compelling.
Yeah,
because it's not in the same way that Jamak is.
Oh, Jamak, yeah.
Jamak is compelling, but for a different reason.
Yeah, for sure.
But I also find him hot. Scarlet Man, on the other hand, I don't know how to explain it. It's this type of character where it's like, I just want to put you in a test tube and shake you around. And like look at you under light and see how you react. It's like I want to study you in a lab.
Yeah,
kind of, which is bad because that's where his trauma stems from. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Hugo. I'm sorry, but it's he's just so there's so much there.
And see, that's the thing too. He went from Hugo to Scarlet Man.
So good.
Scarlet Man,
which is so clever.
That's such a dope fucking name, bro. Scarlet Man.
He got a scar, Charlemagne. It's so clever. He's a smart boy.
He's so clever.
He's a smart boy.
He's just my sweet little boy, honestly. Yeah. Like when I heard about his whole character arc too, because like I remember watching the show like the very beginning and being like, there's gotta be something, you know what I mean? And then I was also so like just taken aback, like again, just by the intro of him. Like I was like, wow, like he's honestly, can I say cunt? He's cunt.
He is.
He's so cunt.
Extremely.
He's so cunty.
Yes.
Like so cunty. Like honestly, like something about him gives a little bit like queer too, even though like his gender.
You know what? I think that's, you know what it is? I don't find him hot. I find him compelling, specifically because to me he reads as so sexless.
Yeah.
Because he's got so much other shit going on.
No, yeah. He I don't know. He just he's a little like. He's simultaneously masculine and feminine at the same time.
In the way that old-timey like British monarchies are, because you know, in those days, you know, heels were originally made for men as a empowerment symbol.
Right.
Makeup was originally for men to cover up their blemishes, to have a strong face, you know, and the hair, the wigs, the flouncy wear, because that was a show of luxury. Having frilly clothes was a show of power, was a show of money. Money is power, so they look like princesses.
Right.
So the fact that that was his hyperfixation, which is so funny, let's talk about that. His hyperfixation was literally monarchies. Which is so funny because he was raised by an Asian woman and a black man. Yeah. And they were just like, this is fine.
Yeah, no, yeah.
If that was my child, I'd be like, let's find a different hyperfixation. There's a lot of stuff in history that you can hyperfixate on, except for this. I don't want my child's role model to be like Elizabeth the Queen.
I just liked when he was like a little baby and he would talk in a little accent.
Little baby.
He just had a little accent too. He was just like, "Hello, father."
And both of them are like, we don't talk like that. Where the fuck did you get the accent?
Where did he grab the accent? That's the thing too, where I'm like, did they have like videos of back then, and they just like knew that like, cause like, okay, that's the thing too, is like, how do accents really like develop back like now, like in that future?
True too, because when you think about the first humans that went underground.
Mm-hmm.
Which also, was it just common people? Was it the rich people specifically? Like, what was the breakup? Because, like I said, all of the humans that originally made the decision to go underground are dead. This is like, what, 200 years? That's about 4 generations down the line. How do you, like, pick jobs? Like, it's like, it seems very advanced, but they've been living underground.
Yeah.
So, I have a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Was it like the bunkers were paid by rich people? Was it a government issued thing? Was it like, okay, we need 2, it's like Noah's Ark, we need 2 of every profession?
Right.
Type thing? Or was it like, oh, the rich people were like, I need this group of people to protect me? And then just went down the line.
Mm-hmm.
How much inbreeding is there?
That's another good question.
Because there's a set amount of people.
Well, so they're technologically very advanced, where I feel like they almost maybe like...
Test tube babies?
Possibly.
Or they could change their DNA. So
Yeah.
it's technically not incest.
Technically.
Yeah, monarchies.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Incest is fine if it's like with a cousin.
Right.
Nothing
that
else
is
to that.
Such a horrible audio clip. That is so horrible.
That makes me glad that this is not heard by anyone.
No, yeah, of course.
'Cause
This is
no
very
one-
problematic of
No
us.
one can soundbite that and be like, it said.
Yeah. One of the perks of an unsuccessful podcast,
Yeah, you
unsuccessful PTB, is that we can just get on the mic and just say whatever,
Yeah.
whatever, whenever, however,
There's no quality checking.
wherever. Yeah.
Lost my train of thought.
Trains?
Trains.
There's no trains in the show.
No, which is sad.
Yeah,
There are giant ass.
You know
dogs.
what though? That would kill though.
That would.
Jamak in a train scene, running on a train. You biting your nail is crazy.
Because I'm imagining like a murder mystery on a train,
No,
and
yeah.
it's black and white, and he's in a detective outfit, and he's so stupid.
Yeah, and he's running, and so he has to take off his jacket, and
He's
then he has
so
to roll up his
stupid.
sleeves, and
He's
just
not
like,
finding any clues because he's so goddamn stupid.
and he has to get up on top of the train and like run after the suspect.
And he's looking for clues, and he has to crouch down with his magnifying glass.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Well, you said you lost your train of thought, and then I said trains, and then I said there's no trains, and and then that's how we got here.
But there are giant dogs
There are giant dogs
and giant bunnies. I just wanted to bring that up because I think that's great.
That is really great.
Because, have you ever seen the paintings of, like, giant animals and the people are just, like, face deep in the fur? Oh, my phone's at 100%.
Nice.
That's
The
what
mega
happens.
pigeon,
The mega pigeon.
the mega tortoise, the part where they like where
Avatar
Wolf,
Last Airbender.
yeah, that's what it reminded me of too. But the where Wolf like what's it like? I don't know, like tapped the tortoise with her staff, and then it started moving and everything like that.
That was sick as hell.
That
was
was
sick as hell.
so cool. Wolf is so cool.
Sorry.
We have to talk about Wolf for a little bit.
Yes,
Wolf,
we do.
Wolf is amazing.
Wolf deseres her own show.
yeah,
I want her
seriously.
just like maybe a short series, like 6 episodes long,
yeah.
of her surviving.
Yeah.
I just would really love to hear more about her.
There should just be like a mini series of like just like the different characters and everything like that.
Yes. Well, maybe it could be a mini series, and each episode is about the backstory of each character, like just a day of.
Yeah. Like I want one on Scarlemagne too. He's so silly. He's just such a silly.
That's the other missing link.
Yeah.
Silly.
He's evil, but he's still silly. Like he
Yeah.
maintains like a very like whimsical aura about him, even though he's evil.
Yes. You know what I always say about character design?
Yeah.
I always say this: when you're writing a new character, contradictions make the best motives.
Yeah.
So the most compelling character that you can make is going to have many contradictions, and that's what makes them compelling. That's I'm not a professor, but that's my gospel.
Yeah.
Because he maintained, just like what I was saying about the comedic relief characters, you gotta toe that line.
Right.
With the villains, the most entertaining villain will be one that can insert stakes that are meaningful, but also be kind of silly.
Yeah.
Be kind of flamboyant.
Yeah.
Be kind of showmanship. Because villain, Megamind.
Megamind.
What's
Okay,
the
you know what?
difference?
Megamind was also a good villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a villain. You're just not a super one. Oh, yeah, what's the difference? Presentation.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Gospel.
But every time I think about Megamind, I gotta say, I think about that one meme that's like, no bitches.
That's true.
I think about that every time.
Do you want some of these?
Actually, I really don't. I don't. I, like, instinctively
Well,
was
I'm
like,
gonna-
yes, but yeah, fuck it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck it up.
Fuck it up. Fuck it up. But I decided I don't, actually.
We're having snacks.
We're having snacks, guys. You,
This-
you
I'd
guys
say
should
we could
also
host
have snacks.
Yes.
If you're listening.
It's funny. Have you ever? I remember when we first started this program, you asked if you could listen to the podcast on the computer, and I was like, you could listen to any of mine. Did you ever do
You know what? I never did. I wanted to, but
That's
I just
crazy.
never made, like, the time. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's just, you know. There's so many things I mean to do, but then never do.
that?
So many things.
I only ask because I'm not gonna share the mic.
Oopsies. Oopsies.
Misophonia. Misophonia gang. I'm so sorry.
But you're welcome to the people who like to hear people chew.
ASMR.
ASMR.
People diametrically opposed.
Mm.
I only ask because I've saved all of them on my Google Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I'm really funny, and I find myself funny.
Of course.
So I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna forget that I talked about it. I'm gonna listen back, and I'm gonna be like, she's spitting.
I started doing this thing recently where, like, if I'm having, like, a funny conversation, like, I'll just start hitting record on my voice memos because I'm like, I want to listen to myself later because I know how funny I am. Like, I just, like, and, you know, and then also just other people around me, you know, because naturally when you're funny, you attract other people who are also funny. And so then you guys get to both be funny together, and you're just, you know, and then you're attracting more funny, you know, because of the law of funny. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so
Feedback loop.
yeah, exactly. And so I love that because then I get to go back later and, like, listen to my little notes. And yeah, like, I'll, like, forget about it for a good couple months, and then I'll come back to it and I'll be like, oh my God, that's so funny. Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
I think it's kind of the David Dobrik effect
Mm-hmm.
of the media sphere, media consumption
Yeah.
culture, because you want everything recorded.
Yeah.
Because we're not gonna talk about David Dobrik for long, but I had a phase.
Mhm.
I think it was in lockdown where I watched compilations of them like every day, and it
I
wasn't
think we
because
can
I
say
liked
it
them.
now. We can say that it was funny when it was funny.
Absolutely,
It was. It was.
everything is funny when it's funny.
Yeah, when it was funny, it was funny. It hasn't.
Except racism.
Well, right, of course.
I just had the thought, and I was like, everything is
To
funny when it's
clarify.
funny, but also let's condemn the past.
Yeah, right, of course. I mean, like, it wasn't like all of his videos were like that. It's just
No,
that,
like, I think,
you know, it
you
came
know.
to surface later that he was a lot more problematic than people had
Yeah.
known about. And I hadn't even known at all that he engaged in, like, problematic behavior,
Yeah.
really. You know, so, like,
But we watch it for the
Yeah.
spectacle of it.
yeah.
And the observe. I'm thinking about Nope now. Jordan Peele Nope.
He also, like, perfectly nailed, like, before TikTok really boomed off, like, the kind of, like, short, quick, like, entertainment.
Yeah,
You
'cause
know
that's
what
how
I
we
mean?
edited it.
Yeah, his
And
videos
it
were
was long form, but it was edited in that format,
yeah,
which is crazy.
which meant you didn't have to scroll even. You just sat there, you watched
yeah, for hours.
and
Straight hours.
these 4-minute videos, and then just watched
Yeah.
so many of them, and, like, so much was happening so quickly, but also, like, it wasn't overwhelming either. You know,
How I
because I didn't really have a whole lot of fun with Vine because, like, they were only, like, what, like 15-second videos and everything like that. Like, there was only so much of Vine I could really, like, take. You know,
yeah.
sometimes I was like, ugh. So, But now I kind of miss Vine.
Simpler days.
Grass is always
Just
greener
kidding.
on the other side, you know? I mean, Vine, TikTok is the new Vine, so.
Just kidding. There were never any simpler days. It's all shit all the time.
That's true.
I only say that because a thing happened the other day
Mm-hmm.
where I made a joke where it was like, "Oh, the good old days," and then I slapped myself in the face mentally because I was like, "Bitch, there wasn't any."
Right.
Your perception of it just changed.
Is it manure or is it horse shit? Yes. Yes.
Yes. Why did I bring that up? Oh, it's the impulse to have everything be recorded and watch it back, which honestly I don't think it's a crazy. I think humans have been doing that forever because there's a need to preserve. There's a need to remember.
I think it's okay as long as it's not. I mean, not necessarily that it's a wrong thing to do this with the intent to make it consumable to mass audiences.
Yeah, I think
like
that's a separate desire though.
yeah, that's a separate desire, but a very like important point to bring up is that with things like like the desire to like record and everything like that also comes with the desire to share, which makes it, the desire to be widely consumable.
Yes.
And that can have some issues, especially if you're someone who bases maybe a whole lot of your worth around how consumable your content is.
Yeah, and when your content is your life, it becomes very parasitic
right
in that way.
It's like
So-
yeah.
We're talking about Kipo.
Kipo, hello.
We want to
Hey,
talk
everybody.
about Wolf. There's so much there. First of all, she's like what, 10, 11?
Yeah,
She's the most badass character in the entire show,
she is so badass.
bar none.
Yeah.
And I just love that for her. She's so tough-coded.
She
And
is.
I love that for her.
Yeah.
And she's not blind. I don't have a second part of that sentence. I just needed to remember that she wasn't blind. She wears the skin of her murdered sibling on her head. I don't think it was a sibling. I think the theory was that it was her mother or father. Because I think that the whole thing was that, oh, you are going to pit me against my siblings? Okay, well, you're evil. Kill. And I think it was the mother. Because she's more present in the conflict
Yeah.
making. That's so... Because, again, this is visual storytelling, right? It's storytelling through character design.
Yeah.
Just like we were saying with Kipo, you see this girl. She's obviously younger than Kipo. She's shorter.
Right.
She's smaller proportionally. One, she's barefoot. She knows what the fuck she's doing. Because if you're going to be barefoot... Cause not even Jamak is barefoot. The animals who have feet are not barefoot aside from, like, the cats. Like, they're all wearing shoes. So the fact that she's barefoot and she's human is like, okay, she is not to be trifled with. First of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, she's carrying the staff, which is, I don't remember, her Death Stalker staff, which on the end of it has this giant red scorpion tail looking thing, which we find out later is from something called a Death Stalker, which is basically just a giant scorpion, which can momentarily paralyze anyone she stings it with.
Doesn't it also like give them short-term memory or something like that?
I think it makes them stupid for a little bit, yeah. But yeah, and she fights with it so adeptly. It's so clear that she knows what the heck she's doing. And lastly, the wolf's pelt over her head it's reminiscent of hunters, like indigenous hunters would wear the pelts on their body.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, we already knew that we didn't want to fuck with her. We definitely know we don't want to fuck with her now.
Right.
Because hunters know what the fuck they're doing. You know?
Yeah.
So, and even with the implication of anthropomorphic animals, which I'm not sure where we're at the point we were introduced to her. But, you can gather that much. The fact that it's implied to, she probably killed a pelt. She probably
Right.
killed a wolf to get that
Right.
pelt. And not only that she killed it, but she skinned it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
See, that's crazy.
There's a lot of visual storytelling happening here, and it's all spelling out in bold letters. She's badass.
Badass.
And she's not even a teenager yet.
Yeah.
She's crazy.
The scene where she gets the little like hair clip.
Mm-hmm.
So cute.
And then that
she
adds
blushes.
to-
Yeah, she's so cute.
And it adds to her character design.
Mm-hmm,
I
it
go
does.
crazy stupid
Yeah.
for visual storytelling through character design.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the fourth thing
It's
about
so
her.
funny too because I do too, but I'm not like a media X major. Like we've talked about this a couple times now about like character design, about how fun that is. I fucking love character design, dude. I love character design. That's why I try to like, you know, bring it with my outfits because I'm like, I'm a little character. I gotta design it. You know what I mean? But like, oh my gosh, like Wolf's whole character design is like crazy. And like just the cute little hair clip and everything like that.
Which
like,
is great because that hair clip is front and center. It's right in the middle of her face. So it grabs your attention. But then you start to notice all of the other, like, opposed in tone character design choices about her being. So, you know, you would not find a hunter wearing a pretty pink hair clip.
right.
It is opposed to everything about her tonally, about her design, which is why it's so great. It's contradicting.
Mm-hmm.
It tells you something about her character. It tells you that it's important. It's probably sentimental. It was from someone that she loves. So good.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so good. I agree. That is all I have to say.
These thousands of dollars for me to get this secondary education is so worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
I want to work on an animated show. Like, maybe...
Ooh, okay. How are we
like that.
feeling? Should we do a little closeout?
Yeah, we should probably... we
Yeah.
haven't talked about the show in, like, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all that we think about that.
That's all we think about Kipo.
Yeah, there's actually many more things we could talk about.
We could
but
talk
we're-
forever,
yeah.
but we need to
We'll
give our
stop it
gums
here.
a rest.
Exactly.
Yes.
So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you guys.
See you next time. PTB, thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.